this on like a Zoom class? Oh my god.
That's all you can say. His face right there. That's all you can say.
Wait, am I in the wrong Zoom call? I need to be in that Zoom call.
Who the heck is that? Who the heck is that? Oh my god.
I've seen this. This is good. Okay, I'm for this.
Who the heck is that? Oh my god.
Is this like a Zoom class? Is this on like a Zoom class? Oh my god.
Some of the things we're gonna
What?
What is going on here?
some of the things we're gonna deal with.
What is happening?
Some of the
Oh,
things
no.
we're gonna deal with.
Do these people know him? I'm guessing not.
My question is, like, terms of service. Like, that's like pushing it right there.
Some of the things we're
Wait,
gonna
am I in the wrong Zoom call? I need to be in that Zoom call.
Oh no, man. I mean, geez, let it go. He had some belly rolls.
Was that on like a classroom Zoom call? No way.
I've heard about this. Zoom bombing? Zoom raiders. That's what they should be called.
Education is so important to me. Like, these Zoom calls get me so frustrated.
What you should be doing until April 6th, until schools begin.
You, Brian.
Poor Brian. Hey, leave Brian alone. He didn't do anything to deserve this.
You, Brian.
Oh!
Oh no. Brian. Oh my god. That's not funny.
As a teacher, what do you say to that? That's all you can say. His face right there. That's all you can say.
That's how we want to use this.
He said that's how we want to use this, honey.
He's pissed.
What is happening?
Poor thing. What is happening?
Track points. I need to go
You see the
over.
kids?
You are all muted. Unmute yourself. I'm just gonna start taking points right off your contract.
Your class.
Yeah, take points off my contract, Daddy.
Innocence. Just innocence. That's people. Let them have their fun.
Oh my god. This is crazy.
It's a bad time to be a teacher.
This was funny at first, like it was a cute little moment, but like this is like sad. I actually hate this.
Classroom.
Me parece que tenemos un montón de gente que no sé dónde es.
Oh, listen to that generic YouTuber music.mp3.
Me llamo Corona. Gustavo, ¿cómo estamos, Gustavo? Gustavo, Gustavo.
There's so much going on right now. Oh my god.
Gustavo, do you have any Gustavo?
Uy, mierda.
Wait a minute. Oh, I mean, like, I don't know what that is that they show because I've never seen anything like that before.
Un cachito.
Yo, Alex got some cheeks though.
No.
The cheeks though.
Wait, that's what they said. Did he have somebody else join with him, or did another random? Oh, it's just like coordinated attacks now. It's like running into a village. Like, come on, open season this way.
Oh,
sorry, Miss Rawson, I was late.
Question: are we getting out of school on our regular time if we do go back to school?
My question: when can I leave?
You're talking about at the end of this school year?
No, I'm talking about when it's in my god. Someone. No, I'm talking about when it's in my god. Someone's inside of me. Karen.
I feel so bad laughing.
So much inside of me.
Karen, that's so inappropriate.
Oh my god, Karen, you're so sexy. Oh my god, Karen.
Leave Karen alone.
Oh, look at their faces.
Karen, carry me home.
Karen didn't know what to do. She was like, what's going on? Something tells me that was the first time Karen experienced that.
And this like literally makes me cringe and makes my stomach actually turn because I actually want to fight these people. I'm like, where are they? I want to talk to them.
Well, as people isolate at home, video conferencing is the new normal.
Zoom hacking.
Is it really hacking?
Its number of users has ballooned dramatically, but as CBS's Anna Werner reports, hackers have also discovered it.
Oh, hell yeah, go on.
Mom Michelle says her 14-year-old daughter was online in a class for her private modern Orthodox girls' high school.
First, the screens were completely black, and they were saying all these anti-Semitic things, cursing them out, saying you effing Jews, etc.
Oh no!
And then one boy suddenly stripped and was naked.
Says her daughter was upset.
She was very embarrassed by it, and she just said, I can't talk about it.
Dang.
They don't know the privacy settings. They don't know how to secure it. And so suddenly they're vulnerable.
You guys check your privacy settings.
They're vulnerable to monsters who want to interrupt and insult them.
Yeah, you know, I'm so not surprised by this. Like that this is happening. This is classic internet.
Oh, I've seen so many like memes on it, and I've seen a couple of videos, and they're all usually super funny.
Oh no,
But they're
Michelle!
from the student's point of view, and they don't really show the teacher's point of view.
Zoom bombing. Malicious users invade a chat group, often with profanity and racial slurs.
Jeez.
In Canada too.
They started shouting racial epithets. They shouted the N-word.
I hate
Maya Roy
this.
says
Not
the
okay, bro.
250-person town hall she hosted earlier this week for the YWCA was attacked.
4chan is living for this news.
Messing around.
Living.
The FBI told CBC News it's investigating a handful
FBI
of what
now.
it calls video
That's where we're at?
If it goes as far as like racial slurs and like nudity to minors, yes. If it's just some sort of like obnoxious outburst that somebody does or like something that just somebody says, I don't think it's
People
jail
stand
time.
up in their, college room classes and yell stupid things and sit back down and they don't go to jail.
It's investigating a handful of what it calls video teleconferencing hijackings.
Wow,
It also
it's
said
kinda dark.
the best way to avoid Zoom bombing is to follow these tips. Add a password to any online meeting.
That's not the name of
Change
your pet.
settings so only the host can share their screen, and don't share a link to meetings on social media.
That's probably how people are going and crashing into them things. Because people are sharing links.
Boris Johnson's Zoom pandemic meeting had the link to the Zoom room in the top when he posted a screenshot, so anyone could have joined it.
Why? You guys, I know we're all bored at home, but can someone just pick up like a good hobby? Like, is this really necessary?
Zoom is a remote conference servicing company, which allows people to virtually interact online when meeting in person isn't possible, kind of like what we are doing right now with this YouTubers React episode with YouTubers from around the world. So first we wanted to say thank you for being a part of this episode, especially during this crazy time.
Oh, not a problem at all. Hopefully we don't get hacked.
So is Zoom or any other kind of live streaming platform something that you've started to use more often or began using since the stay-at-home movement started, or have you used it before?
I have never used Zoom. You guys are witnessing my very first Zoom call.
I had never heard of Zoom before this whole thing started. We always did like FaceTime or just Google Hangouts.
I swear Zoom just materialized from nowhere at the start of the pandemic. I'd never heard of it before, and all of a sudden everyone was like, Zoom, have you Zoomed? Let's Zoom it up.
All of our meetings we can't go to obviously anymore, so that turns into either FaceTime, Skypes, or Zooms.
When you use a new kind of social media platform, do you think about the privacy concerns on that particular app before you go and like make sure you do your research?
I don't know. But maybe I should.
I guess I don't really think about it.
Yeah, don't really think about it. Like, we just put passwords on stuff, but that's about it.
Not with like general social medias like, Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like that. I never really look into it, but it makes you think.
I thought about it a lot more ever since this whole thing started happening.
If I'm signing up for something, the first thing I look for is 2FA, which is the two-step verification. You try and secure your stuff as much as you can. Sadly, people always has a way of doing whatever, so just protect yourself as much as you can.
When we start a new app or we download a new app, like even when we first downloaded Instagram, Twitter, or all of those things, like TikTok, like the first thing I do is I go to the privacy settings to see what I can do to help, protect ourselves. There are some scary people out there, and a lot of people have a lot of power behind the screen. So you have to just be very, very careful and be careful what you put out there.
As someone who kind of makes a career online and may have dealt with this kind of prank or trolling from the internet, what's your take on this, and how do you think people should handle it if it were to happen to them?
I think when it's, just goofy and stupid, I don't think it's too big of a deal. I think when it gets like, hateful and aggressive, then it's obviously a concern.
It's easy to say, oh, it's funny, it's a prank, but is the person you're pranking gonna laugh at the end, or are they gonna be upset or offended? And I think that's what the person needs to decide. before they jump into a Zoom room.
I think if you just ignore it, quit it, restart, and pick up back to what you were doing, I think that's better rather than getting mad at the person. Because the only reason people troll and do stuff is just to get a reaction. And what kind of reaction is end?
Every YouTuber I know has been hacked sometime or another. My Instagram has got hacked, my Twitter's got hacked. This is what it's like to be someone online.
We develop thick skin very quickly, and the online community forces you to develop it very quickly. I could see how a teacher could get totally offended and feel some type of way and be sleeping later that night and be like, I can't believe he called me those names. And it's not personal. It's the wild, wild west. These guys are behind the screen. They feel like there's no accountability. They're online commandos. They're gonna say all kind of crazy stuff, but put the passwords on, block it.
With the rise of these Zoom bombing things, law enforcement has been looking into how to help prevent more of these cases, with some reports saying that depending on the instance and what someone does, they could be charged at the state and federal level and even possibly receive jail time.
Good. Honestly, like, I think if you're gonna be that stupid to do something that crazy, and yeah, it might seem harmless to you, or like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna be a joke or make a moment. It's like, yeah, but you're also affecting other people, especially with the hate speech situations. Like, those are the ones I'm like the most concerned about.
First, I thought it was just harmless, but then as I was reacting to more and more, I felt that someone's going to catch a case. Definitely.
I had a big like cybercrime issue when I was like 15, and no one could do anything about it unless it became like a real life physical threat. And so I think it's good that people are cracking down, or law enforcement's cracking down on stuff that happens online, because it's still, like, you can still be just as much threatened or made uncomfortable through the computer as you can in real life.
I mean, it's bad, but I guess it depends on how extreme, you know, you go with it. You know, like the little, when it was the teachers and they're just saying like, oh, Karen, I love you, Karen. You know, that shouldn't warrant that bad of a punishment. You know, anything beyond that, like hate speech or, you know, racial slurs, and, you know, that's something that's like, all right, you might have to spend a few nights in jail.
So finally, with video conferencing now being kind of a major part of day-to-day life for a lot of people, do you think even when this kind of crisis is over that we're gonna see more of this technology used all the time, or do you think we're gonna go more back to normal?
I think in the future they might use this a bit more because it is more convenient to just sit at home and have conferences.
I think it's gonna be somewhat in the middle.
Everyone is missing the in-person situation, so I think everyone's gonna really flex to like have in-person moments, but at the same time, I do think this digital kind of, I don't want to call it a crisis, but it's almost like we are moved to digital because of, you know, the situation going on in the world. So I feel like it has opened people's eyes to wanting to do things more digital.
I'm definitely going to use it more. I've had some great Mario Kart nights. My friend did a quiz night, and everyone's using the technology just to hang out a bit more, and I don't think that's going to change.
What is our world going to look like after this? Because I think a lot of things could potentially change. Like, I think a lot of people could potentially work from home now who maybe thought that they couldn't. I do think though things will relatively go back to normal, but I think maybe some things will have like a lasting effect. I think Zoom will still be used, but just not as much.
Thank you guys for watching this at-home episode of YouTubers React.
Hey everybody, Lauren, producer here at FBE. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and thank you to all of the YouTubers from around the globe who came and shot with us today, especially during this difficult time. If you want to go check out any of their channels, links are going to be down in the description. Bye everyone, and stay safe.